Good morning, students. Today we shall have the journey towards the poem The Lake Isle of Innisfree, the second chapter of Unit 4. This poem is written by William Butler Yeats. Now let's have the summary. Yeats declares that he will get up and go to Innisfree. He seems to want to get away from the life he was leading in the city. In Innisfree, he will build a small cabin of clay and wattles. He will also plant 9 rows of bean plants and build a hive for honeybees. And in this cabin, he will live alone, surrounded by the sound of honeybees. In Innisfree, he is certain he will experience peace at all times of the day. In the morning, when the day dawns slowly and the crickets are singing. In the afternoons, when the sky is filled with purple glow. In the evenings, when the sound of linnet's wing fills the air. And at midnight, under the glimmering sky. So strong is his longing to return home that Yeats again declares that he will go to Innisfree. Day and night, he hears the sound of water gently coming up the shores of the lake. The sound is so profound, it calls to his heart when he is standing on dull city pavements. It reminds him of living amidst nature and fills him with a deep desire to return home to a serene, tranquil life away from the noise of the city. So students, that's all about the explanation about this poem. Let's have the literary elements of this poem. First of all, we have alliteration here. It is a repetition of certain consonants in a poem which are often used in order to stress a word or phrase. Notice the sound of the consonants I and S in the following lines. I hear lake water lapping with the low sounds by the shore. There is an emphasis on the words lapping, low and shore. The second point, we have assonance. It occurs when the vowel sounds attached to different consonants are repeated in a poem. Notice the sound of the vowels I and O in the following line. I will arise and go now and go to Innisfree. Assonance is less clear than either rhyme or alliteration, but its use is similar. It links important words or phrases in the poem together. We also have another literary element, that is imagery. Saying that the evening is full of linnet's wings, midnight's all a glimmer, and noon a purple glow, make us think not only of one bird, but also of all of them in flight. Now that's an image. The last literary element of this poem is metaphor. Veil of the morning. It is a metaphor of the fog of early morning or the mist. And of course, the heart can't actually hear, so we might think of the deep heart score as a metaphor for the part of the poet that feels and dreams deeply. Finally, let's see the rhyme scheme of this poem. The lake Isle of Innisfree utilizes and rhyme in an AB rhyme scheme. This means that the end of the first line of stanza rhymes with the end of the third line, and the end of the second line of stanza rhymes with the end of the fourth line. All three of the quatrains in the lake Isle of Innisfree display an AB rhyme scheme. So dear students, that's all about today's class. Please complete your work in homework and notebook and send it to me. Till then, we shall meet tomorrow. Goodbye.